welcome. So today we are going to be getting into how to make really crispy, super clean, super polished, professional looking headshots for realtors or really for anybody, for any type of portraits, whatever you're trying to do. This is a pretty standard technique that I've used tons of times for realtors in offices, for realtor events, and it works really well for anybody. So if you're trying to figure this stuff out, I hope this video speeds up the process for you. So thanks for joining. Now let's get into it. I've got extra gear here because I'm doing a video, but this is all the stuff. We've got a backdrop, we've got a backdrop stand, we've got light stands in this case, we've got some special, just in case you need them, stuff in this DOP bag. Got my camera and lenses in here and filters, and we got flashes right there, you can't see it, and we got a 5-way reflector, one of the best investments you can do. Even if you're not going to be doing realtor headshots or super crispy white headshots like this, you can still use all these techniques we're going to be going over for shooting headshots like outdoors or indoors, if you're doing lifestyle stuff. Learning how to do flash and make it do what you want it to do to get really good results in any scenario is definitely one of the best skills to learn if you are a photographer and wanting to do it professionally. So let's get it set up. I'm going to set a timer to see how long it actually takes to get everything set up, including the lighting, and so I'll let you know what to expect when you get to a shoot. But once you get everything set up, you could have 100 people come through that location in a day, and you can just make minor adjustments as each person needs it, and it'll take you like a minute per person, which is great. Everybody comes in happy and leaves happy because they're not waiting around for you to set stuff up. So for me, I like to get to a shoot at least like an hour early, maybe longer, and take care of things before anybody gets there. So let's go. So when you're choosing a location to set up in an office, the main thing you want to be thinking about is how much room are you going to have to walk back. And once I get this set up, I'll measure it and let you guys know how much room I needed total. But generally, if you're using the lenses that I'm talking about later, you're going to know how far you need to be back. But extra room, being able to walk back, is not going to hurt. So I'm setting up in the corner so that I can walk back further. If I set up the backdrop here, I would end up running out of space sooner in that wall. So anyways, timer's about to start and we'll see how long this takes. First up, we got the backdrop stand. They do make pop-up versions of this stuff that if you're setting up remotely a lot, I would highly recommend, because you can literally just pop it out and it stretches the backdrop and everything in like a couple minutes. But this is the one I have because I needed it for a really big backdrop one time, and it's pretty cheap and not that good, but it works. Okay, I think this is all we need for this small backdrop. So this is just a seamless paper backdrop by Savage Seamless, really good quality. I'll link all this stuff below the video, except for this backdrop stand because it kind of sucks. All right, yeah, nice. I haven't done this in a while, but tip for these is to extend the top part first so that you can still reach the other ones if you need to go higher. Main thing for this is you want to make sure it's pretty level. You want these to be facing like that so that it can hang if you need it to go all the way to the floor. You probably do. I have all my modifiers and stuff in here. Normal stuff. Just got some clamps, any of them, any brand is gonna be fine, but these are gonna hold the paper backdrop in place. Okay, so just clamp it up there and it'll stop moving. You gotta go further if you are setting up a backdrop for people to do full body shots on, but this is good. There we go. So that's not going anywhere. I put one on the ground and rolled it up in there, so that's kind of weighted down a little bit. And now we're making progress. Next thing is stands. So I've got this C-stand. The heavy duty ones are great. They're gonna last forever. So this is gonna be for my key light, because I'm gonna be moving it around. So this is, I think, called a knuckle and an arm. And I like this because I'll use it as like a counterweight this side. So I'm gonna put my key flash on this, and this is really handy because I can move it around and change the height and all that if I want to. There's lots of compact options also, if that's a concern to you. These are just the ones I have, and they all do the job. We're doing 3 lights, so we got 3 stands. Stand 1, stand 2, stand 3, and got a jacket and a hanger in case you need it. So now we're gonna start setting up our flashies. Got a Bowens adapter for one of my flashes. This is probably the best flash I think you can get for most stuff. The AD200, it is great. This adapter goes on here, and then I'm able to just pop my diffuser on there. Next one. I mostly have this for like events. And if you're doing outdoor portraits, it's really, really, really powerful. But there it is. So I'm actually just gonna use this for the background because this one's a lot easier to move around, and it's lighter, and it's plenty powerful for what we need for the key light. And last but not least, the one that you guys have seen on my channel a lot, the V1C. This one's just gonna be the hair light, and it helps make the images look a little more 3D. And this one has a modifier built in to where that's pretty much all you need. You can go add another modifier to it if you want to, but I'm not going to. So this is gonna be my key light. It's super fast. We just twist it on here, and it just that's it. So that's ready to go. Next, we've got this rectangular one. I'm gonna put this on this guy. Clamps in there once again, just like that one. It's got multiple layers of diffusion, so it's nice and soft. And so this just goes in right here on the rod, and then it's like an umbrella basically. So this is a good shape for a backdrop because it's lower profile, it's kind of tall, and it's less likely to have like a hot spot or miss some spots too, like a circular one. So where are we at with time? 15 minutes so far. Getting close to being ready for test shots. Now's a good time to kind of clean up everything that we're not using. So I just throw it in my Pelican case and get everything I don't need out of here so that we have easier time walking around. I actually didn't bring enough stands, but normally I like to use this reflector. You could get someone to hold it. I'll probably do that in a little bit. But the reflector, and then I have this clamp kind of mount that goes on a C-stand that holds it, and you can use that to fill in the light as a bounce and fill in some of the spots and get a little bit softer looking lights. Now we're gonna get generally organized. So this is how I like to set it up. So I've got my key light off to the right. I'm gonna have my background light over here, where it's just gonna hit the background generally. And then I'm gonna put this up here. Now let's get the camera set up. I'm gonna go with the 70 to 200 just because I might want to go kind of cropped in tight. So we got that. I've got my circular polarizer on there. So I didn't use circular polarizer for a long time for headshots, but I've realized it is super, super helpful if someone has shiny skin, or if the flashes, for whatever reason, make their hair have too much highlight, if they've got a lot of product in it. This can tone it down and bring back a lot of color and texture, which is stuff you can't make in post. So really, really great. So I'm gonna take this off. Don't need that. Actually, I would recommend this, because while you're shooting, you're gonna need to move around the flashes a bit from person to person, from shot to shot. So camera's set up, got the filters on. Now I'm just gonna add my trusty, this thing. We're gonna do manual settings, because if you use TTL, you're gonna make people blink on your shots. So we're gonna go in and we're able to set A, B, and C to match these flashes and trigger them all at the same time. And basically we're just gonna set the exposures to different settings that we know are gonna work. So I'll show you. We're gonna set the background to be like 1 or 1.5 stops too bright. So on the histogram, it's gonna be over to the right. And then we're gonna set the person flash on a person to where it looks good in camera. And then we're gonna set it to where the hair light is just a little bit. So you want it to be pretty dim. You don't want it like a super hot highlight unless it's some styled shoot. And then we're gonna be good to go. Currently at 23 minutes, 24 minutes. So not too bad, not too bad if we're an hour ahead of shoot. So for this flash, you can see right there, I've got it centered, pointing at the backdrop from like a 45-degree angle, a couple feet away from it. And that is where it's gonna look pretty good and get a nice even fill on the middle, at least, of the backdrop, and it's gonna look nice and white behind the person. It's also going to reflect back some light and help make it glow a little bit, which is cool. Kind of adds another hair light. So you really only need 2 lights. This one is just kind of extra for fun. So this one, we'll see where I end up needing it, but I'll usually put it up here or further back if it's possible, but it's not here. So I'm just gonna have that on a really low power, and that's gonna be pointed towards the person, which will be about where we are right now. So this one's gonna be the variable. So I'm gonna start out with it right here and have it a little higher than the person. And if their eyes are outset, I guess you would say, you want it to be a little bit higher than them, pointing down and at like a 45-degree angle. But if their eyes are kind of inset, like kind of how mine are, where they will end up being in a shadow and not having any color in them, if you have the light too high, you want to have your key light a little bit lower to where it's a little bit more at the same level as their head, or a little bit higher. So just depends on the person and their face structure. So always be thinking about that. And my main goal is to get light into their eye and have their eyes pop. If their eyes are coming out dark, that's bad, it's bad. So we got this. I'll probably raise it up a little bit and move it around for every shot, but you'll see. And now is a good time to show you my little secret goodie bag of things that you might need on a shoot day. Okay, so yes, this is very important. This is a dot bag. I'll have this with me at any headshot event. Basically, the goal of all this stuff is to pre-Photoshop your person to where you're gonna save yourself a lot of time later in the end, and they're gonna be happier with the results anyways. So lint roller is a must. Nobody wants to Photoshop out a ton of lint or whatever. You can just hand that to them and let them do their thing. Here we go. We got hairspray in case they need it. I might need it later. Just kidding. A nice unscented lotion. Got this Burt's Bees moisturizing cream. This is super important. I've got eye drops. These ones make your eyes really white. So if someone shows up with really, really bad allergies and their eyes are like completely red, I think mine are still okay today, but this is gonna save the photo. You don't wanna Photoshop that stuff. This is a comb for beards. So super handy. Obviously, you want to make sure all this stuff's clean in between shoots. Don't be gross, but on that subject, I've also got a comb. This is a nice comb from my friend's company, O'Dowd's, that I got from a shoot that we did. So I'll link that below. Nice one that's not gonna break, it's carbon fiber. This is all the stuff that I use before I film YouTube videos too, so same thing. So this is a powder. So if you use makeup, you know what this is, but basically it is a powder. I use it up here to make my forehead less shiny. So that's really important. You could use that on anybody. Obviously, depending on their skin color, maybe have like a kit that's different colors, but it just makes it matte. So if someone's got oily skin, it's super helpful. I've got this. This is a touch-up pen makeup. This is tinted lotion, same thing, makeup. Little one-time use floss. If someone shows up after eating and they have a bunch of crap in their tooth, you can get it out. And nobody's used it before, so that's good. Let's see what else. I just got random, normal, everyday stuff. So I've got some little tiny scissors for whatever you might need. Got eyelash curler thing. I've got nail clippers. I've got beard oil. I've also got some cologne. So if you're doing a long day shooting, you might want some. So here we go. When my clients show up, they are gonna be thinking I smell good, so we're good to go. So that's it. This is all good stuff in case of emergency. Another thing would be have like water, protein bars, etc. Make sure everybody's taken care of and feeling good. Another thing that I have on the list is a coat rack over there in case people bring different outfits. They might need one. And I've also got a travel size steamer, which is super handy because people might show up with different outfits that are all wrinkly, and this is a lot more versatile than a iron. I'll make a little kit and link it down below with my other kits. And basically you just want to be prepared for the worst in case you need all this stuff. Because a lot of clients show up in crazy conditions and this stuff is going to be handy. And that's the client showing up right now.
Look at this. Hey,
come here.
What? Oh, yeah.
Look, here he is. Here he is. He's here. He's ready for his headshot. All right, so once I get all this set up, what I do for posing is, usually it's easier on a stool or something, but they could also be standing, it's fine. Not if you're really short, that'd be hard. But I'll set up this main key light on their dominant side. So my normal way to do that, decide which one is dominant, is whichever way their hair is parting. So for me, that would have in the past been on this side. So it looks better on this side. I'm more expressive with my face on that side for whatever reason. This side, I look like I'm half dead for some reason. I don't know, that's just how it is. So I'll figure out which side's their dominant side, and basically just whichever side is gonna make their hair and their face look the best. So you can try it. If it looks bad, switch to the other side and see how it looks. But don't tell them it looks bad, just tell them, oh, I have a creative idea or whatever. Half of the goal while you're shooting headshots is to make the person feel good and make them feel like they look attractive and they feel good about themselves and feel comfortable. So having music is also really helpful too. I guess I could have put that in my kit, have like a little mini speaker, or even just play something on your phone. Sets the vibe. And then talking about confidence, to boost their confidence, a few tips for that. Once you get a few really solid looking photos, show them those photos. Let them see how cool they look with all this different lighting, because people don't normally see themselves like that. So once you do that, then they're gonna be happy, they're gonna be feeling more confident, and you'll probably get some better photos after that anyways. So even if those were good, you'll probably get some better ones after that once they know that it looks good. They'll have a look in their eyes that is confidence. So settings, we ended up with 1 power and 1/16 power for the key light. So, because I'm using my small flash for the backdrop, because my other one was dead. The end. So a few different lighting techniques are 45 degrees, normal kind of Rembrandt style lighting. To make it more dramatic, you could switch the hair light to the other side so that it kind of makes like bright, dark, and then bright highlight, so it's like extra 3D looking, but I think it looks a little bit more natural to have it on the same side so that it's not making like a really dark shadow on one side. That's really great. Most guys like that specifically. My go-to for women is to actually have this key light down a little bit. So less of an angle, more soft. Down, it's called clamshell lighting. So you do it down and then you have a reflector under them. So it bounces some light back up also and gets their neck and makes it a little bit softer. So there's a lot less shadows. It all looks more glamorous. And this is a like early cinema trick that they used to do for women. So if the person wants to have soft lighting, maybe they want to look a little bit younger, that's a really good go-to. But if you're wanting to accentuate their features on their face and the shape of the face, then the Rembrandt style lighting off to one side works really well. That's why it's a classic. So those are my two go-tos. If you're doing this kind of setup, you can also lower the intensity of the backdrop lighting. So you could probably use about half the power and suddenly you're gonna have a nice gray backdrop too, which is cool. You can also add color gels to this and change the background if you want to. There's a lot you can do once you get into flash photography. So that covers the essentials that I do. If you're using the reflector, I like to use the white side, not the silver side. I find that the silver is just too shiny and it makes people's skin shiny. So a lot of times that ends up with some weird effects, or it'll actually reflect the light brighter than it is on your key light, which is bad. If you want to create a more dramatic looking Rembrandt style lighting, you can use the black negative fill on the 5-way reflector to create a shadow on this side. So it'll stop any light that was already there or from all this stuff bouncing around in the room. It'll stop it and block it all, flag it off on one side, and you'll have like the nice perfect lighting and darker, no color shadows, which is really cool looking.
I'm a professional. I can handle anything.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, lean towards me just a tiny bit. Yeah, just, all right, 3, 2, 1. Unpose. Now let's smile. Three, two, one, pose. Very good. We're live streaming on my big camera.
Oh, hi. We're live.
Yeah.
He's giving instructions to his viewers as to what he's doing.
Good. Good to see you guys.
So hold this a little closer to him, as close as you can get, really.
I got to wear my black outfit.
Not that close.
That's a little too close.
Show that we got black.
If I can do it, anyone can do it. Trust me.
Yeah, just
Hold the
set
shutter
it and
halfway
forget
down
it.
and don't let go.
So anyways, that's it for this one. I hope this video was helpful for you. I know it's been a long time since I said I would make this video, and I thought it'd be fun to do it in the exact same spot. So we're here, and we did some more fancy headshots. So if you got any questions, leave them down in the comments, or if you want to chat with other people about it, including me, you can join the Real Estate Media crew down below for free. You can check it out and see what's going on in there. Basically, it's a bunch of chat rooms that are different categories and lots of people in there chatting about stuff and helping each other out. So good vibes, good constructive criticism, and good helpful people in there. Once again, I'll link all those kits down below the video if you're interested in getting into this stuff, which obviously you are, and you can check it out if you want to. Also, make sure to stay tuned for part 2 of this video where I'm going to do retouching on these headshots And it's just going to be a really simple workflow for retouching these kind of headshots. So super helpful for you if you are getting into this. So hope to see you in the community, or hope to see you on the channel in future videos. Peace.